Thank you very much.
Kaufman is Alive. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at some new comic books. Gunslinger Spawn, number 39 and 40. It's published by Image Comics in 2025. Todd McFarlane is the writer on both of these books. Carlo Barberi is the artist. Ivan Nunez does the colors. So I really have enjoyed Gunslinger Spawn as a series on a whole, although I feel like the last year has been much less good, you might say, than some of the previous issues. Just not a whole lot's been happening. We've switched artists from Brett Booth to Carlo Barberi here. They essentially switched titles, as Carlo Barberi came from Spawn, the main Spawn title, and started doing Gunslinger. And the Gunslinger artist, Brett Booth, went over to Spawn. So I'm a big fan of Brett Booth's artwork. I've got nothing to complain about with Carlo Barberi's style here. He's got a very anime kind of style. I feel like his artwork would lend well to an animated style, or to animation itself, but he throws in some pretty cool splash pages here. He's always got some action-packed issues, and I like the way he draws Gunslinger here. Gunslinger's a pretty cool character. I really like the fact that he's, you know, like a variant version of Spawn, but he's kind of weaker. He's not as big as Spawn. There's some differences between him and the regular Spawn. I like following his story. The host of the Spawn, his name is Javi. He's searching for his dead sister, much in the way that the original Spawn, Al Simmons, was always searching for his wife, Wanda. Eventually, Wanda died, and he went searching through her in the afterworlds. So we've got this character. He's from the 1800s, this Gunslinger Spawn, but he got transplanted into our timeline back around issue 300 of Spawn. A whole bunch of Spawns from different timelines got transplanted into the current Spawn's world, where Javi remains today. And for about the past year, he's had no powers. None of the Spawns have had their powers. And right at the end of the last issue, he gets shot. And we see here he's dying, but then he's resurrected. He wakes up. He doesn't even know how. But he takes the opportunity to take out his captors here. Now, he's just been running from this law enforcement for the past few issues, trying to get away from them. And there just really hasn't been a whole lot going on in this book. And I've been debating whether to drop it or not. So we've gotten to issues 39 and 40 here, and I decided to just make a clean 40 issues. And then I was going to make this video and kind of decide whether I'm going to continue reading Gunslinger. So I think I'm still going to try and make that decision here at the end of the video. I'm waffling back and forth. So one of the main differences between this Spawn character and the Al Simmons Spawn is that this Spawn can control animals. He's had wolves, buffalo, and dogs all help him all throughout his journeys here. I really love this panel down here at the bottom. It's got like a gray colored shadow. He's overlooking the city here. Really interesting way to depict the city. I can't tell if this is like a computer image put into the drawing or if that's actually done by like the colorist or the penciler here. Really cool looking shot. But another difference between this Spawn and the regular Spawn is this one's cape is basically like his duster jacket. So his gunslinger coat, which I think is a cool touch. And he's got the Slash style top hat there too. So not a whole lot going on in this story either. He gets away from the law enforcement, and then through the next few pages, he's just traveling through the cold trying to find shelter. He's trying to protect this dog who protected him. He's trying to keep the dog alive because Spawn has powers that can protect him from the cold, but the dog doesn't. And they find this cave. They go into it. He finds bear cubs. He knows he can't stay here because the mother will be back soon. And as he's leaving, he runs into the mother bear. And so we see Spawn versus bear here as he's trying to protect the dog as much as he can. So he's not really fighting back at first. He's just taking the brunt of the bear's blows. Try to say that 10 times fast. So, and at the end of the book, we just see here the bear just mauling Gunslinger. The dog is safe, trying to recover. And that's where we end this story. So I was debating dropping Gunslinger after this issue, like I said. Gunslinger does do a good job of kind of always ending on a cliffhanger, though. Kind of makes you want to come back for the next book. But like I said, there was not a whole lot going on in this issue. We get Spawn versus Bear, which is, it's something. Bears have been kind of popular in comics recently, I suppose. They've been making a bit of a comeback. If you've read like, what's the book, Bear Viking Pirate? I might have got that wrong. But anyway, so we've got the Gunslinger number 40 here. I like this cover a lot. We got this vulture sucking on an eyeball. This is a Marco Failla cover, and we last issue was the Javi Fernandez does the cover here. Gunslinger sitting at a bar. So I like the covers. I really like this cover a lot. My main problem with the Gunslinger and Spawn covers in general is they usually don't tell you what's going on in the book at all. There's no bear on this cover, and there's no vulture in this book. So, but we pick up right where we left off, which is good, because we left off with Spawn getting mauled by a bear. I kind of want to see how that ends, and thankfully, we do see the dog kind of making a comeback. He scares the bear, trying to return the favor to Gunslinger for saving him. The dog is. Gunslinger threatens to shoot the dog. This whole page is just Gunslinger pointing this gun at the bear, and the dog and bear kind of circling each other. He decides the bear doesn't deserve to die. He's not going to shoot him, so he just stabs the bear. He says, "Go find your cubs, Mama." He's just trying to scare the bear off. Gunslinger talks about how he's got this connection to animals, which is kind of why he showed mercy to this bear. And he realizes that the bear's only trying to protect its home. So right as he thinks the bear is about to leave, it starts turning around and comes back at him. And right as it's lunging at Gunslinger, it gets stopped by this angel character named Godspeed. Oh, Godsend. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Godsend. And awesome looking double splash page here by Carlo Barberi. Gunslinger says he wants no part of these angels. And the angel says he means no harm, which is why he stopped the bear from mauling Gunslinger. Kind of a cool bit. He says, "What, you'll shoot me with bullets? You know those can't hurt me." Gunslinger says, "But 2 of them can blind you. You angels keep forgetting that." He says, "And they're tipped with necroplasm," which of course is bad news for the angels. So he wants the angel to let the bear go. The angel says the man who was stabbing it. And he says, let him go, let him go. So finally, he lets him go and shoots him in the eye. He tries to take the dog, but Gunslinger says the dog stays. This angel wants to find out what the connection between animals and Gunslinger is. And so do I. So do the readers. We all want to know. But this angel's trying to figure it out, but Gunslinger isn't going to let him take the dog to try and find that out. So Godsend starts attacking at Gunslinger since he shot him in the eye. And Gunslinger makes a retreat. He starts hiding in the snow. Godsend smashes everything away with this giant shockwave so he can find Gunslinger here. We learn that Godsend and the clown helped trigger Spawn's, it says the time rip, which unwillingly snatched so many from their own time continuums to our own, which it says happened in Spawn 300, which is when we've kind of, it wasn't the first appearance of Gunslinger, but that's when he started to become a more prominent main character, got his own series. So he's looking for Spawn here, and in a panel that kind of encapsulates how I feel about these two issues, he goes, "We're wasting time." And then Spawn, who has been hiding the whole time, and even though Godsend sent that shockwave to find him, he wasn't able to. So it was just a big waste of time. And Gunslinger sneaks up behind Godsend here and goes to attack him. We get a cool splash page right here at the end. And another cliffhanger to end this issue. And like I said, that's how Gunslinger kind of keeps pulling me back in. They just always end the issues on a cliffhanger. But not a whole lot going on in these two issues. We've got Spawn versus the bear, and then the angel shows up. I feel like this definitely all could have happened in one issue. But Spawn is a $2.99 comic book, so it is a little cheaper than most other comics. Usually I say you do get your money's worth, but like I said, in these issues, I feel like, in a lot of the Gunslingers from the past year or so, I feel like they're issues that could have been condensed from 2 or 3 issues down into one easily, because there's just not a whole lot of story going on in here. There's no side characters or anything. It's just a linear story following this Gunslinger. He does mention Linda, who was a character who was following Gunslinger around for a few issues, just this human woman character. He does mention her once in here at least, but unlike a comic like Savage Dragon, which is just packed with side characters and mainly doesn't even involve the main character a lot of the time, Gunslinger is just all about Gunslinger. It's a very slow-moving comic. It always has been since the beginning, but I think I'm going to probably pick up the next issue if it comes out and I've got $3 to spare. I probably won't be picking them up, as soon as they come out or anything. Gunslinger's not really getting me too hyped anymore. I am kind of still interested in keeping a full run on it though, which is, of course, how they get us comic collectors. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I do post daily comic book videos, or at least try to. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Go read comics.